Hello, everybody. This is Zyken, the wrestling technician from Montpellier, France, and you are watching the best indie wrestling show on the whole internet, CCP Podcast.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome back to Beyond the Bell. I am Chris Page, and that is not John Cable. That is not the sexiest man in the Netherlands, a sexy goth. It is, however, the one and only, the UK correspondent to CCP Podcasting, Mr. Devlin Knight. Welcome to, what's your second Beyond the Bell?
Yeah, second or third. Second or third. One or the other.
How's life treating you, brother? What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing well. It's a cold but bright day today. Mid-afternoon here, early afternoon here. So not as early as it is where you're at, but yeah. No, I'm doing all right. How are you going today?
I'm living the dream. I've got a busy travel day ahead of me, heading to Atlanta here in just a little bit, but it would not stop me from lining this up so I can knock out this conversation. Because let me tell you something. Our guest today is a gentleman that when I first I came across in SuperKrazee Pro Wrestling. I was watching an Inside the Indies with John and saw the most outrageously good character I think I have ever seen on the independent scene that caught me totally by surprise. To the degree that as soon as that show was over, like I sent the guy DM. I was just like, I really need to talk to you because there's stuff happening here. As time progressed, the more SuperKrazee I began to watch, I started falling more and more in love with this character. This had to happen, and I'm glad that it did. Let's welcome in our guest today, SuperKrazee Pro Wrestling. He is the man known as Homeless Vaughn. How are you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to sit down with us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, dude, this is going to be so much fun. For me, anyway. I don't know about for you, but it is going to be great for me. It's going to be fun for Devlin. Devlin, welcome in Mr. Vaughn to the show, man.
Good morning. Good morning where you are. Good afternoon where I am, Mr. Vaughn. How are things?
Hard as heck, but we'll get through it, just like you guys getting through it.
Oh man, yeah. No,
people are gonna be like, that's not Homeless Vaughn. He don't sound like that. It's Vaughn Morgan interviewing you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Vaughn is like somewhere in the back, somewhere. He'll interview later on in the year.
Exactly. Well, we're going to be talking to Homeless Vaughn at some point in time. That's for damn sure. Mr. Morgan, I came across your work, and legitimately, I look for entertainment when I'm watching various stuff. Like, I look for a lot of different things, but am I entertained? And when I heard the theme for the Jeffersons hit that speaker system, and I see this character come out with the shopping cart, I lost my shit. But I want to talk a lot about Homeless Vaughn. But before we get to how this comes together, man, when did you fall in love with professional wrestling, and what was one of the moments that really drew you in that said, I want to do this?
So 2000 is when I started watching wrestling. Brother's mom put me on it, and I was hooked from there. But what made me actually want to start actually doing it, like, yeah, I'm going to do this, is 2006. It was Mr. Kennedy and the Undertaker feud.
Okay.
And I was immersed with Mr. Kennedy. I like everything Mr. Kennedy's doing right now, I'm going to do in the WWE. I had that, I was like, I'm going to be like 22 when I do it. Of course, I'm 34, and it still hasn't happened yet. But that feud right there was the one feud that was like, you know what, I'm doing this. It was every Friday night I was trying to get my food, get my snacks, get everything ready, and I was immersed for 2 hours with the whole SmackDown. So that's what made me want to do it.
Taker and Mr. Kennedy. That's not a bad feud to pop in on for sure.
I thought it was
Definitely.
very underrated. It should.
I Yeah, it kind of is when you really go back and look at the bigger picture of it all. And usually when I ask people that tells me tell me a lot, right? Like some people, it's Daniel Bryan in WrestleMania 30, like that's the moment. But to
Yeah.
see to see
Millenniums.
Taker and Kennedy getting some love there, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Devlin, what are you thinking about
Yeah, no, that's definitely an underrated, actually an underrated for you to sort of start your journey on, I guess. I mean, I'm a little bit more old school. For me, it was things like the Rockers, or when Sean
Mm.
turned on Marty, and I mean that's showing my age now, but yeah, like the whole kind of where that all kicked off at the barber shop with Brutus Beefcake, that kind of thing, or Brett and Sean, that's my kind of thing. But no, Undertaker Kennedy definitely, I guess, one for the modern era, I guess you could call it. It was still
Yeah.
25 years ago or so, but that's one for the modern era. But yeah.
I got you all beat, all of you. I'm showing my age. I'm Dusty and Flair, and
Oh wow.
I mean,
Ooh,
shit, y'all
yes.
make me feel like I'm the old head here. When you realized that you wanted to do this in the early 2000s, what was your track to get there, to get to training, to what's that look like for you, the journey to kind of break in and get started?
So I knew I was small in high school. I was like 5'2", 89 pounds. So I knew I needed some sort of background to get like credibility. So I immediately tried to get into amateur wrestling, which failed because one, I went to a military school and we didn't have no sports. And I
Mm.
tried to go down to the youth club, and I think it cost like maybe 3,500, and we didn't have that type of money. So I had to wait till I got a job out of high school, and then I did MMA for about 3 months, and then I got kicked in the face, and I was like, you know what, this is not for me, wrestling. So I waited until 28. I waited late to kind of save up the money, and I looked up wrestling schools, and the first wrestling school that popped up was KCW. So I was originally from KCW, and after 2 years training there, I went to SuperKrazee after the pandemic,
Hmm.
and that's all she wrote. SuperKrazee's been my home ever since.
Well, see, it's that's a great pivot because that's where obviously where I came across you, and I know I talked to Devious Cast not too long ago and Beyond the Bell, and had a fantastic conversation with him.
Freaking love that dude. Can't
I
wait to have a match with him one day.
I'm telling you, the piece of what drew us in was to the company itself was you guys, because all of you that we have seen thus far, there's not a bad piece of talent attached to Super Craze. There's some work that needs to be done, sure, but not everything has to be the fucking cleanest to pack an impact. And I say that to say character work is a pretty big thing. And I have a lot that I want to dive into with Super Craze with you specifically. And I say craze, and it's crazy. I get it, guys. I'm from the fucking South. Enunciation sucks. Just bear with me. Uh, when you dove in, because Devious kind of got in at the same time after pandemic, and that's where Skid Row comes into the equation too, right? Is that the training school that's attached to Super Crazy? Is if I'm 100, if I'm correct? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass when I go down this road.
No, you're fine.
And by the way, we're not made for children, so if you swear, it's okay. Um,
Oh yeah, we could custom here.
yeah, absolutely, bro. Say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Shit,
It's okay.
fuck yes.
It's okay. There's a big TV MA on the screen, so you're fine. Um,
Oh cool.
when Super or Skid Row, excuse me, you guys are producing some talent here. Where does, when you get tied into it, when does Homeless Vaughn start becoming a thing? When does the character start materializing in your head? Because you said, like, you were 5'2" in high school. As you're getting, you got to be different then, or you got to set yourself apart. Is that where the character work came in for you? Was, I want to do something kind of outlandish because it's gonna get me the attention, and then my skills in the ring are gonna back my play.
Mm. I had no intention on being Homeless Vaughn.
What? Okay.
I wanted to be
Okay.
the cool heel like Mr. Kennedy throughout the whole process of trying to get into wrestling. So, but I think when I first, like maybe the first 6 months of Super Crazy, we did the seminar, Sean Donovan, and we had to do a promo. And when I was at work, everybody always said, "Well, you should do like a homeless character. You look homeless already." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll
Gee,
try it,
thanks.
but it's not going to be long term or anything." So did the promo being homeless, and everyone loved it. And Dog, our head honcho, told me like, "Yeah, you should actually do that. That's what you're going to do." I was like, "All right, well, I'll just do this for a couple months and it'll progress to something more cooler than homeless Vaughn." And then I was a heel for the first two matches, and then after the second match, I turned babyface because everyone was chanting "Homeless Vaughn." It's kind of like the Eugene story where he had his first match and everyone was chanting Eugene. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all she wrote, and you can't change the character if it's working. So 3 years later, still Homeless Vaughn.
Don't fix what ain't broke.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think that the character is a hit. I don't think there's any denying it. And truthfully, what's so it's so entertaining is because how deep you invest into it, right? Like
Yeah.
you wanted to be the badass heel, but now you've been accepted as the homeless fawn, and the crowd genuinely reacts to you every time you step through that curtain. When you started training with Skid Row, and you kind of had the idea put in your head by your friends, which, by the way, thank you guys, because it's a treat. Um, what were some of the difficulties that you had to grasp in your earlier days in training? Like me, for example, I keep in mind '99 is such a long time ago. Footwork was a hard thing for me to grasp initially because I was always a bigger guy. What were some of the difficulties that you faced when you were, getting your feet wet with the training aspect of pro wrestling?
Everything.
Everything. Fair answer.
Footwork, arm drags, body slams, everything you can possibly think of, I had trouble with. I think the one thing I didn't have trouble with is a wrist lock. I did pretty good with the wrist lock, but everything else, footwork, laying it in. Sometimes you have to lay it in, and I did not want to hurt anybody. So laying it in was a tough one. Strikes, arm drags. Oh my gosh, arm. I got a nice arm drag now, but it took years to get that down pat. What else? Facial expressions. Couldn't really have good facial expressions. Promos didn't have a good promo. It's like everything, everything.
Well, what
So
were some of the things that you utilized to hone in on it? If I mean, again, and this is for, like, guys and gals out there that might be listening. Like, this is some of the things that you might want to incorporate if you're having problems with everything attached to it. Like, what were some of your results to solve the problem, if you will? If you were having difficulties with, like, cutting the promos or the footwork, how did you get past it? How did you overcome it?
still overcoming it for real. But to what made me get better was just practicing.
Yeah.
Went to different schools too. Also helped once you get different perspectives on like how to do this, then you'll figure out, oh, that way he taught me worked, and this way he taught me didn't work. But this way he taught me to do the other thing worked, and the other guy didn't teach me how to make it work that way. So it's picking out different avenues to get the right results, pretty much.
I say it's like being a sponge, man. You got to be able to absorb
Yeah.
a lot of information from a lot of different people. Devin, let me come over to you, man. You got anything training wise that you want to ask or anything you want to touch on?
Well, I think you covered this because one of the things that I used to think about in my limited time of doing it, talking about laying in, like one of the things I get worried about is where to put my weight. Like when you're kind of putting the boot in, or when you're kind of doing, when you step on an opponent and step over an opponent. So the whole kind of putting them in the corner and putting your feet. I always worried I was going to screw that and hurt somebody. You know, I mean, is that something you had trouble with? Or like when you the weight, I guess, weight distribution. You said about landing and stuff.
Yeah, that just like having your target like
Oh,
directly where it's supposed to. Like my fist will always either hit like their lip or, and I know they say, well, hit him on the neck and then try to hit him on the neck. Nope, never target accurately. Just always hit either the cheek, the lip, the jaw. So then, like you said, having the right amount of force, weight to it,
yeah.
it just never clicked. I mean,
It,
it clicks now, but before it's just
it's
never
it's
clicked.
it's some of those things that sometimes people don't take into effect when you're getting into this, right? Like it's not something that some people can pick it up naturally, but some people you have to really work and hone in
Hmm.
on it, because if you don't, man, you have to trust that anyone that you're in the ring with, you're trusting them with your body, and they're trusting you with theirs. So the last thing you want to do is be horribly inaccurate. I remember the first time I unintentionally connected with somebody. It was in a high school in Birmingham, Alabama, like 200 people, and I jacked this dude. This dude's a vet, and I'm
Oh no,
3 months
after
into my
that,
into my in ring. Oh yeah. Uh, Back in those times, it was a little different, and let's just say the woodshed was the ring, and I learned a valuable lesson that I didn't do it again.
mm,
Like I took it right. I know what I did when I did it. I didn't mean to, but you gotta give it back, bro. Go right ahead if it makes you feel better. Stick your
yeah,
chin out and take it. Um,
yeah.
in the days of Skid Row, because this is what was it kind of confused me when I first watched my first Super Crazy wrestling show, and how it came to my screen was the lovely YouTube algorithm. I blog in and we watch a lot of wrestling here, a lot. So I get stuff that's recommended from all points of the world. One day, YouTube says you should watch this Super Crazy pro wrestling show, and I said okay. And obviously that's how I come across you, and I come across so many other talented guys that are really putting in some good work. Guys like Tim Dynamite's out there killing it. You're
Hmm.
killing it.
It's gonna be
Uh,
on TV soon. Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it. And I truly the revelation I think is arguably an insane faction that, given time, if they don't lose their way in what they're doing, they are going to be on TV. That is a foursome
Yes.
that is insanely talented. Primal Fear was a tag team that
Hmm.
I got turned on to. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I say all this, and I'm dropping all these names because they are all attached to Super Crazy Pro Wrestling. And I guess, did all of you guys come up through Skid Row there, or was this just how did this group of talent, I guess, come together to form this incredible company that's building momentum seemingly on a monthly basis?
I think we all came from different schools, and then I think the pandemic, Super Crazy was one of the ones that was open, I believe, or kind of maybe like 6 months after the pandemic had settled down. And I think Tim Dynamite, previous cast, and I, we came from KCW, and had been shut down for a while, so we all moved to SuperKrazee. Primal Fear was, I think, from Monster Factory. I don't know how. I don't know if Monster Factory shut down or whatnot, but I think they came from Monster Factory. Revelation came from. I'm not sure where they came from, but it's all basically we just all came to the school and we just loved it. It's just the environment is dope. Their vision is dope. So we just made it our home, pretty much.
How
Yeah,
did
we all came from different.
how did it
Go ahead.
feel to pick up your first singles championship there? Because I believe you've been Skid Row's champion, right? Uh, how did that come about to you, and what was it like? What was your emotional state when? Because first of all, like people can always say, okay, it's just a indie championship, it doesn't matter, but it actually does. And I say that because regardless of the size of the company is investing in you. They see that you are somebody that we need to build around, even if it's a short term thing or a long term thing, but you're somebody we need to build around. So it is a pretty big deal on a company standpoint, whether it's a smaller company or a large scale company. So what is it? How did it? Your thought process when they come to you and have the conversation? Hey, we want to put this championship on you, and kind of how did you feel about that conversation?
So I believe in 2021, my first championship was the Super Crazy TV Championship. If I'm not mistaken. Might have to go back in my history, but I won that during a battle royal, and then a half an hour later, I lost it to Superman's uh, Arian Hardaway. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's in the Indies heavy too. He's a big jack guy, great wrestler. But yeah, I had it for about a half an hour. It felt good within that half an hour, but yeah. And then I won the United States Championship from I think it was in April or May of 2022, and I had that for about I want to say 6 to 8 months, and I felt it felt more pressure than anything. It felt like because I had to put on great matches, and back then I was more of a character guy. It
Yeah,
was kind of to mask up my subpar wrestling skills. So I wasn't like the best wrestler, not even on that roster. Not even I probably was like maybe top 10 out of the 20. So yeah, it was just more pressure than anything. I didn't really have time to wake up, smell the roses, or what they say. So
I hear you.
yeah.
There's another guy that I forgot to mention a minute ago. Fucking TJ Reno. He's another guy
Oh yeah.
that's attached to this product that is tremendously talented. I don't know why I get Dusty Rhodes vibes from him as a character. Like
That's a
I,
that's an accurate vibe.
I he
Yeah.
you guys are doing tremendous stuff. Deep Devil, let me come over to you, man. What you got?
Well, I mean, I'm still thinking about just how honored I have been for Paige to have switched me on to the homeless Vaughn character. To be honest, I
Oh,
mean, just everything you guys do out Super Crazy. Like I said, I'm pretty new to that product and just catching it off. But I do have to mention this, otherwise I will forget to mention it. But this is how good the character is. I have mentioned previously when Paige first told me we were doing this and told me we were speaking to you, and I was like, oh, it's so good. And I watched one of your matches against I think was it Zach, how do you pronounce it? Zach Ravix? No,
yep,
Ravix.
yep,
It was the,
yeah.
the body bag match.
Well, to be fair, hold
Um,
on. To be fair, full context, I did say just go search him out. So I didn't give him a whole lot of info on the homeless Vaughn character. I
no,
said just go to
no, he
YouTube,
didn't. I bet.
search it, because I knew
Yeah.
where this was going. Go ahead.
So, so I was watching and I was looking. CEO said he'd come out with the Jeffersons, had come out with the trolley, the cart and everything. And I'm looking and I sort of try to do a little bit of research. Not gonna lie, I try to look on Cage Match and just how I am with what I do with when I'm looking at someone new talent, etc. And I kind of came back to Paige and said, look, if we're going to do this, I really need to make sure I'm not going to be insensitive. You got to tell me, is he actually homeless? Is he living out of his car fighting, from his car? Like, you get some. the character is that freaking well made, that well crafted. You do such a good job that I literally had to say, before we go on and do this, tell me, is he? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. He's like, no, dude, it's a character. It's so
homeless Vaughn is homeless, but
one thing I do want to ask you. So not quite homeless one, right? One thing I do want to ask, these dollar bills, I assume they're dollar bills that the crowd give you when you're going around. What happens with them? Because I'm sure do you go searching out everybody that donated them?
I try to. I feel so bad, especially when the kids do it. Like I have to play into it before the show. Like, hey, thank you.
I mean, it works both ways,
Yeah.
The playing into it works both ways. I think it's amazing. I think it's great, and obviously, it's all part of that character that play, and it's awesome. And the way they've bought into it, as Paige said, but then you said, like, obviously you go with what works and you don't fix what's not broken, and that for me is like, that's the way it goes. It's organic. And it seems to have been an organic thing, and it's just like I said, that it worked that well. I had to ask the question, and that's how good it is. But I mean, one thing, like, has there been any challenges you faced here, like with the character at all? Because as I say, it seems to be organic. It seems to flow well. Have you found any challenges with it?
Just trying to present it in a way where it's showing the funny side of it, but also not making fun of it. That's kind of the challenge to it. Also having it, because you have to show it like a little bit of heart, like trying to find stories to make it presented to a way it's an underdog story and not like we're just making fun of a homeless guy's story,
No.
So that's my challenge. I think I did pretty well with it.
Yeah, you do. Definitely.
I mean, you hooked two people right here. You hooked I have another 3 co-hosts there. You hooked my channel too, by the way.
That's awesome.
When we throw on SuperKrazee, usually there's several people in attendance that are strictly there repping Homeless Fawn. It's fun stuff. When you're like Devlin was talking a minute ago, the presentation of the character is key, and yes, it is it can be looked at as a touchy subject, but I think how you handle it and how your audience takes to it is something special. When you're putting the character work together, like let's talk about the evolving of Homeless Fawn. I love the yellow cart, the shopping cart. I think that is a fantastic. It is a nice little trope. Was that in the original presentation, or how has your presentation changed over the years as you've kind of honed in a little deeper into the character itself? Because again, and guys, if you haven't seen the character, I just down below, I'm gonna drop some individual links. You just need to check this shit out if you haven't already.
So that's why I say SuperKrazee is like one of the best schools, because they were the ones that like put all the ideas to the character together. I kind of just played it out. Like they said, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, the shopping cart was like old dog. That was his idea. Music was the song producer. What's his name? Chico. He used to like play our music, and he decided that should be the song to go out in. What else with this character? It's like it's a whole bunch of people putting ideas to the character together, and I'm just like kind of playing it out. So
when I see Homeless,
it's all my team. Yeah, got a great team.
When I see Homeless Fawn, like I write and do odds and ends. There's a lot of shit that we do that nobody ever fucking sees. But I have such a story in my head for Homeless Fawn when the time comes. Oh my god, I think it's gonna be fantastic, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably already thought about it.
I think I know where you're going with it. Where
Homeless
he
Fawn
gets
needs
teamed up with.
he.
Yeah,
Oh
they
wait a
cleaned
minute.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a benefactor.
hmm
He gets a benefactor.
hmm
Oh my god, could you imagine the stories that you
I'm
guys could
still
tell?
waiting. We've been trying to do it for like 3 years now.
That
Oh
would be,
no,
yeah, that would be awesome. I think
you.
he needs a dog, though, man. He needs a dog.
He does need a
Like,
He needs a
dog.
yeah.
dog with a little bandana around his neck, like little, like not quite like Cujo, but you know.
Picture this:
Absolutely.
homeless Vaughn gets a benefactor, right? And now all of a sudden he's had a comeuppance, and he is now better than the fans, better than the crowd, and better than all of you. And this benefactor takes him to and puts him through, fucking schools, and you now have a higher education. Just throwing
Mm,
your nose up at everybody, dude. And
that's
that's just like a little bitty. That I know you guys
Realizing
had to
these
have
fans
thought
never
about this,
never
but
cared. They felt bad, and that
yeah.
was it. You know that their true intention wasn't to. They mocked you behind your back. That kind of,
Yeah.
the
hmm
I could see that.
the
Let me ask. If you're gonna run with that, sorry to step on
no, no,
toes
no,
now,
go
but
ahead.
something now I just thought. Is there someone specific in your head, someone you know of that we don't, or someone in the industry already that you would like to be that benefactor, for instance?
Originally, it was supposed to be Tony Leenda, and that's who I always thought that the push come to shove, that would be my benefaction. But
Hmm.
maybe Tim Dynamite. Maybe he kind of got that character where he can
He is a
like
cocky
build
little
me up.
shit.
Yeah. um. Yeah. It don't matter as
Hmm.
long as I get there, because
Yeah,
it's been 3 years.
as long as I get that
You know,
pay.
they the more they cheer you, the more they're gonna fucking boo you when that shit happens, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's the reaction you get. What if this is the route that gets you to that Mr. Kennedy esque heelish character that you've always wanted to do, and
Oh my gosh,
in
I can't wait.
in the process, the range that you're going to be able to show as a character,
hmm
that goes a very, very long way. And with your game specifically, and I say game not in a disrespectful way by any means, it's the wrestling game as a whole. With your game,
hmm
the character work is key, and you have done such a great job. I mean, you're talking. This is a 3-year arc as a character,
Yeah.
and you've done such a tremendous job doing that. When that trigger gets pulled, man, look out. Because I
Yeah.
think you're gonna enrage the audience, and it's gonna be such a
Yeah.
fun thing to watch.
You build them up to knock them down, man.
Yes. You said the more they cheer, the more they're gonna boo when it happens. Ironically, that's why it's never happened yet. Because I get
Mm.
cheered so much that they don't want to turn their top baby. I got the John Cena effect, I guess. They don't want to turn their top baby face into a heel. So I'm supposed to be doing this movie called The Time Capsule. So I feel like once that movie comes out, I have to play that character gets built up kind of story because it wouldn't make sense me being on a movie and I'm still homeless Vaughn during the wrestling. So
Let's pivot directions real quick, and let's talk about what we can talk about that project. How did the film project come your way, and was that something that you were looking for, or did it just kind of happen?
kind of just happened. An awesome couple, Jillian and Matt, they came to me with the script and said I would be good for the part. And I guess the rest is history. Hopefully I do a good job on it. The movie's dope. I saw the script, the movie's dope. But I just gotta find my acting chops because I feel like I haven't delved into it yet. So hopefully during the project I can kill it.
Well, it's another avenue to go down, right? Especially within professional wrestling, because you don't ever know what role you could be playing. Especially, as long as if you progress in your career and you get into the WWE and AEW, they have a different character, a different role. I think it's cool to see that you guys are getting picked up to do some film projects, because it is just a way to further the education, really and truly, because this is art. Professional wrestling is art. Films are art. I'm looking forward to seeing the final product. You need to let us know when it comes out and where we can catch it, so we can go out and show our support for you guys that are taking part. Because I think it's fucking great. And
Absolutely.
Devlin has some acting chops of his own. Am I right, Dev?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I've been acting professionally since I was 11 out here. Kind of put it on hold for a bit when I was training, and obviously, as I said, that didn't last long. The wrestling training, like a few months, and then got injured. Went back to the acting. Haven't done much since I became a dad. I stayed at home to look after the kids and things, but because my partner went, she's a superwoman, she's a nurse and shit. So I've been looking after the kids. But yeah, no, I've been acting here since I was like 11 years old. So that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Any
What's the
horror?
hardest part about acting? Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't say it's the hardest part, but if you're going to compare it to any part about the waiting around, because being an actor,
Okay.
especially when you're on set, it's like literally like 90% sitting around doing nothing, and
Mm.
10% actually performing or being paid. But and also being an out of work actor. Like if acting's your main sort of bread and butter, then the kind of going to the castings and then knowing you put your best in, but obviously still being beat by somebody else for that role, and then having
Mm.
to go back to square one. That's it's pretty difficult. But as long as you've got thick skin and you know that's part of the industry, it doesn't hit you as negatively as you might think, and you move on to the next one. But out of everything, that's probably the more difficult part.
Oh wow.
I think it would probably be like honing in on the character that you're playing and whatever that role looks like, right? Like you got to put yourself in that shoes. I don't think it's going to be as difficult as you might think, because look at Homeless Vaughn. That's a complete transformation,
Yeah, I
and
think you'll have that.
it's a whole nother. It's a piece of your personality. You just got to find that character. I
Yeah.
mean, I wish that I could have more insight to that. I was one character my entire career. It was Chris Page. It was chronic Chris Page. Keep in mind, this is '99. So like openly, displaying usages of marijuana back in those time frames was, Rob Van Dam esque, if you will. So it was great for me, but I didn't have to really put on a character, because that's just who I was. I'm still who I am. It's I don't know, but you're gonna play this. You're gonna get into this role, man, and
I
yikes.
think the one thing that's tricky for me is I hate my voice, so I'm trying to find different voices for this character, so it don't sound like a boring regular old guy
First of all,
how I normally sound.
you're
So
not you can't. If you're old, what does that fucking make me? I think I've got you by a
Me.
decade.
Or
So
me.
if you're old, I guess I'm ancient. That's what that means. But I mean, I truly, I think when you read the script, when you read your script, like try to put yourself in the perspective of, and see where that voice takes you, and ask. If it's your first movie, it's your first role, like don't be afraid to ask questions. I always, with anything that I do, the dumbest question is the one I don't ask.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you guys see this role? How do you see this character? What's the vision that you have? And then find that within yourself, truly, and that's all you can do if you don't know. You
He's
know,
got better advice than me on this. Yeah, no, I definitely
Mm.
agree with that 100%. Never, never, ever, ever, ever be afraid to ask these
I
guys and these
totally
girls.
would. I would be that guy.
Yeah,
I'd be like, so
absolutely.
wait, let me make sure I understand. Like, what? This is what you're looking for. Cool. All right. How
Mm.
does this sound to you? Oh, you don't like that? Perfect. What would you suggest? How do I need to, you know, come up, find out what they want, give them a concept, give them a sample. Like, do you like that, or do you, you know, and if you don't personally like it, well, you're still asking the question, and then
I mean,
let's
I'll
say,
be honest. So I was gonna say, I'll be honest. If they don't ask you to do it another way, like I don't know, if you do a script reading or what have you, if they don't tend to tell you or say that, then I would suggest at that point. I mean, still ask, but I would take it that they like what you're doing because they when I've been doing this sort of stuff, if they don't like it, they have a tendency to tell you, and they'll go, "Okay, that's
Mm.
good, but try it this way, try it that way." So, I mean, if they're not giving you direction, ask for it still. But I mean, I would still have it in the back of my mind that what you're doing is good. But
Okay.
still ask, yeah, 100%.
well, you're gonna
All
crush it.
right.
You're gonna crush it, bro.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely,
just
man.
what you do.
Thank
Uh,
you. I hope so.
Let me ask you a quick question about Skid Row because I see again when we find something that we like and we invest in, we kind of dive into it, and I keep up with it, and I see a lot of clips, I see a lot of training clips, and I see a lot of training clips with you. Are you doing some of the training there, or are you just showing up and continuing to put in the reps? Are you attached to the training at Skid Row?
I try to. Sometimes work. Sometimes I go to another class just to see like how they run things there. But mostly I train at Super Crazy. Yeah.
I like
But
that.
I try to train maybe at least twice a week. It's so hard when you got a mortgage
Yeah.
and you actually if I was homeless Vaughn, I would probably train like 5 times a week. But yeah, I got like a full time job and I'm trying to get back into school. So it's kind of hard to kind of train. I'd be happy if I train once a week, to be honest. That's how bad my scheduling is.
Well, let me ask you this: you just mentioned something. You're trying to get back into school. What's the goal there? What are you trying to get back into school for? What makes you tick? What's something you're trying to do?
Nursing.
Hey,
So yeah,
It's,
but to be fair, it kind of sounds crazy, but that's like a plan B. Like that's my backup plan, nursing.
mm-hmm.
Like
that's an
wrestling,
awesome backup plan to have, man. That's awesome.
yeah, because wrestling is like my plan A. But if that don't work, I'll at least have this nursing degree to fall back on.
See, the thing is, though, as well, you say this, it's great that you have it that way. And the reason I say that is because if something like nursing is your A and wrestling was your B, nursing is so demanding, just from my limited experience, I know from my partner, that you would never get to do your B and you would never get to do your wrestling. So, I mean, like my partner started out as a HCA, as a healthcare assistant. And
Hmm.
now she's a student nurse right now. And I did HCA for about 3 years myself, and I was a porter as well, or orderly, I guess you call it out there, for a few years. But no, I mean, it's great that you have that as your backup because it's such a good role, like such a good job to have. But to have it as the fallback rather than being something that, with all due respect, may get in the way of you wanting to wrestle. So you've got it. In my opinion, you've got it the right way around. But that's such an
Oh,
awesome thing to be pursuing, man. That's cool.
thank you, sir.
I love the fact that you're trying to get into nursing as well. Like that's kind of cool. So again, I talked to a lot of the younger guys out there, and I'm like, hey man, what's your 5 year plan? You know, what's something you're trying to do in the next 5 years? And sorry, Zeus is invading the camera.
Yeah.
Yorkies, man, you connect to Yorkies. I don't know what to tell you. Um, what is something that you're looking for your next 5 year plan? Like something you're trying to get accomplished. Obviously, now we know that nursing is a thing for you, and that's something you're going to be diving into in the wrestling scene. What's the next 5 years for you? What do you think those look like?
hopefully maybe a major company. I wouldn't mind once my wrestling skills get more crisp and fluid. I kind of want to work Ring of Honor. I feel like
Nice.
having one character based wrestler on Ring of Honor would make me stand out because all of them are kind of like good wrestlers, and I kind of want to be like the only character there. And I feel like,
Okay.
see, I think that's why my character also works as well because everyone wants to be like a good wrestler, and then they'll have like personalities, but it won't have like a standoutish type of personality. It won't have like a character that would stand out. And I think that's why I stand out. I don't try to be like the cool heel or whatever, which I wanted to, but I think I'm like the sympathetic kind of. I don't mind like being self-deprecating with the character either. I can kind of play into it a little better with it, and I think I think that's why it works because it's different from anything else.
It is definitely different than what that's something when we talk about our platform to like the guys that I work with, like we could be different than or the same as everything else. What makes us different, right? That's the key to anyone's success is you got to be different than everything else that's going on. And while there's a lot of tremendous things going on at Super Crazy, Homeless Vaughn stands out on his own. And you're 100% correct. You have the entire audience invested in everything that you're doing there. When you're in the ring, and it doesn't matter who is laying a beating on you, they start to rally in a way that is just different than anyone else being in the ring. And as we've been sitting down and having this conversation, and we were talking about Devious Cass earlier, you're like, I want to wrestle him one day. I was thinking about a story, and I got something to pitch you, and you go take this to Super Crazy, and tell them to make this happen. So Homeless Vaughn, after Cass in a match celebrating something, uh, Homeless Vaughn just shows up and is a fan of Devious Cass, and Cass is just throws it away. Right? Don't get away from me. Whatever. Leaves him in the ring. The next show, something similar happens. Something happens. Something goes down. Homeless Vaughn back out. Celebrating. Cass blows him off again. Cass, at one point, will have Vaughn come out, to stop Cass from getting jumped or something. And Cass is a heel, right? Like he's gonna stay a heel. You get a chair and you try and help Devious Cass and you fuck up and you hit Devious Cass. You get Cass trying. You're just trying to help. And Cass just unloads. You guys go off to the races. You guys tell a fucking good story.
Don't be surprised you see that on there. That's good shit.
I
That's
I
telling
like
excellent.
you, I got stories for Homeless One for days. Just we'll talk. I'll just give you them all. So go do them. You fine tune them however you need to. I think you're doing some tremendous stuff. That's why I really wanted to talk to you. I said I hit you up many months ago, but Instagram is this interesting folder that I recently found that's called Hidden Messages that I knew nothing about. I came across something from people in Australia from 6 months ago that wanted me to come look at a show. Didn't see it. Sorry. But I definitely wanted to sit down and talk to you, man. Like you got a lot of things happening. If you obviously want to be getting up into the mainstream, working for a major company, Ring of Honor is obviously on the radar. If you could, if you had 5 people, and I ask everybody this question, and I'm gonna tell you why I ask when you give me an answer. If you had 5 people on the independent scene that we should be looking at, we should be watching, and it could be anybody on the indie scene. It could be in your neck of the woods. It could be somebody you want to get into the ring with. If you had 5 or 6 people that we should look at, who would they be?
Ah, shit. I'm gonna ask y'all the same questions too after this, but I probably already no, not just because they're on my team, but I really think they bring something to the table. Tim is like the most entertaining guy on the wrestling scene right now. I think Samael Fawzi I mean, he brings a fire that nobody else brings. Like Devious Cast, all his matches are hitters and bangers. That's three. Oh shit!
Cass
I
would.
wish I watched a lot of indies. I feel like I can name a lot too. Adrian Soriano, he's out injured, but he can go, and he has matches where you can put that on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like his attention to detail, he taught me that. Like every attention to detail matters, and it shows during his matches. Uh, I think Darian Hardaway is a good one. Who else? Junie Underwood, he's awesome. Troy Locke is awesome. Uh,
I have a
I know I'm
clip.
missing some.
I have a clip of Junie that I'm gonna drop
Mm.
sometime over the next couple of days, and I'm gonna tell you it was when you were wrestling him. He came out and how you guys doing? And before he could, I don't care. And just started wiving. It's just like
Yeah,
this guy's fucking great. I love his entrance. It's
yeah, he's
fantastic.
awesome.
I don't care. So this guy's a heel. He's fantastic. I love it just on that right there. Devious Cast is tremendous. Samael, dude's super talented too. I've just recently figured out how to pronounce his name correctly. So we don't have to worry about that one anymore. He corrected me twice, and I was like, you don't have to do it again, I promise. My bad. Um, so yes, no, I ask you to give me those names because it's what our platform is, and there's names out there, and there's so much talent out there that the names that you give me, you're not just giving me, the 5 or 6. You're giving me opponents too. So you're really
Yeah.
giving me like 10, and then sometimes 15 different people
Mhm.
in one go around right there, and that's the piece of what makes our platform special and keeps us going is the recommendations of you guys, because you guys are working out there every day with these guys. You know what's out there that we maybe don't see every day, and it's
Yeah.
a beautiful way to pay things forward and keep our circle of life of independent wrestling moving 100%. Um,
Nice.
Devlin, do you have any other? Go
What's
ahead. Oh, you go ahead, Mr. Vaughn.
I was gonna ask y'all, what's y'all three top indie wrestlers that I should watch?
Ooh.
I might not know.
All right, so I'm gonna answer this with a question: are we talking foreignly, domestically, or does it matter?
It don't matter.
I
If
was
I
going to
should
ask the
Okay.
same question.
All right. So as far as tag teams are concerned, you definitely need to check out Sunshine Machine, Chuck Mambo, TK Cooper. They're
what's it
uh,
Wow.
called?
Sunshine Machine. I'll link you.
Sunshine
Don't
Machine.
worry.
Okay.
I'll tell you and then I'll link you. Sunshine Machine. I will go on record, and I don't care. People may fucking hate me for this, and if you do, you're not a fan of fucking wrestling, and I don't care. I consider them to be the greatest independent tag team right now, and would put them in the ring with anybody. I think that
Okay.
as a team, they gel really well together. They've worked together for so long. They epitomize tag team wrestling. They get whoever they're in the ring with. They make them look like fucking rock stars.
Nice.
They're a tremendous team and somebody that you should definitely go out of your way to take a peek at. Now, if we're talking singles, I'm going to give you people that maybe you just might not be familiar with at all. So like I can expose you to other pieces of work. We're gonna go to Australia. Go down to Riot City Wrestling and check out Chris Basso. If you haven't heard of Chris Basso, I'll send you stuff. Don't worry. I give Basso a lot of shit because he's a heel and that's his job, and he does it very well. And there's a lot of insanely talented people in the Australian circuit. Like, I could send you 40 people right now on the Aussie scene that would blow your mind. Uh,
Oh,
I would also say Domestically here in the States, like, you can't go wrong with Stephen Wolf. You can't go wrong with Tim Bosby. You can't go wrong if you want to see some
Impossible.
really good character work. Sam Beale, the Perminator.
Cam Bill.
He is
Okay.
fantastic. I'll send you all of it. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
There's so much. Man like Derice is tremendous over based in the UK. Obviously, like Leon Slater, I think is tremendous. If you haven't seen
Oh
any of
yeah,
his
Leon
stuff,
Slater is
he's
awesome. Yeah.
go back and see his stuff from the UK scene prior to TNA, bro. And even now, North Wrestling is still killing it.
Yeah.
Devlin, I just went on a rant there, buddy. You go
Yeah, man.
ahead because
All
you.
good. Okay. So if we're gonna say UK scene, I probably would have said Derice. I don't know if you know, but him and Leon are actually in a faction slash tag team together called the 0121.
Yep, boisterous behavior.
So yeah, and tag team's boisterous behavior. Yeah. So I'd said Derice, but so domestically for you, I'd say if you don't know him, look at Charles Mason,
Charles
um,
Mason. Okay.
the root of all evil, from GCW, and he's a few other promotions as well. But he's got a very the character is very sociopathic, psychopath, like
Yeah.
evil, right? So yeah. So Charles Mason. For the UK scene, I'd say Luke Jacobs, or as a tag team, the Young Guns. He's a tag team with Ethan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd also say Tate Mayfair's as well from the from the Brit Rest scene, as well as Lizzie Evo. She's fucking amazing. There's a few, man. Emerson Jane, she's awesome. Check out her death matches. Her death matches are cool. I'm sure Paige will link you up with all this anyway, as you said.
Yeah. I'll send you a bunch of shit. Don't worry, I got you.
Do you do
I
death
mean,
matches? Ooh.
yeah, Emerson Jane's done a few good death matches.
Shout out to them.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
We dive down the rabbit hole of independent wrestling. I can send you a laundry list of stuff and just say, check these people out. Look at these. Look at this match. Look at this match. If you want to
There's
study
too many to
stuff,
name right now.
there's a lot, man. And that's the beautiful thing about professional wrestling and independent wrestling. It's been, I feel like it's at a, and I have said this for the last year and a half at length. It's back to the old territory days for me, but growing up in the '80s, independent wrestling is blown the fuck up, and a large part of it too is like it's trickle down effect from mainstream. Like it is. But you guys are there's so much healthy talent, and again, while we've looked at a lot of shit over the last 2 years, we haven't scratched the surface. There's so many companies out there that we're discovering every day. Here's a case in point. We did a show on a Fed out of France. It was our first show, right, in the French market. We advertised it on a whim on Twitch. 2 hours after we filmed it, one of the guys that was on the show, we did a project with one of his friends out of Portugal, 6 Degrees of Separation of Professional Wrestling, and wanted to come and talk to us. So we literally just watched his stuff. Literally had just watched him. He had no idea that we just watched him. That's how professional wrestling is, man. Like, it's, you never know the contacts that you make today and how they can help you tomorrow. And we're here for everything that you guys got going on. I'm so happy that you came in and were able to chat with us for a little bit today. And I definitely want to set up something with a live stream with Homeless Vaughn. So I think that could be very entertaining. I think that that it would be very interesting to see us ad lib. I know that I am, and I think Devlin is too. I'm an ad lib kind of actor. Even went back in my day, I didn't script promos. I didn't do any of that. I just like this
Improv is the way,
conversation.
man.
We just sit down and just start going. I will play off of you, and just it will be. Yeah, we'll get Devlin and John in the mix. That'll be fucking hilarious. Watch some Homeless Vaughn matches and get Homeless Vaughn's reaction to Homeless Vaughn matches. What?
Yeah.
Come
That'd be
on.
dope.
No lie, man.
I'll be fine.
I appreciate everything that you're doing, and I love the fact that you're, helping some of the younger guys in SuperKrazee with the training aspect of it all, and really trying to do your part to lay the groundwork
Yeah.
for the
They're helping
next.
me.
There you go.
They're helping me more so, yeah,
It's
than
a
I'm helping them.
two-way street. It all works together.
Yeah.
Devlin, what do you want to say to Mr. Vaughn before we close it out?
Um, Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say I was honored to be asked to come and do this one today and be here. But no, I appreciate it very much. I was looking forward to speaking with you. I was not disappointed. It's awesome to hear about the things you're doing outside of the ring as well, like with the nursing. That's awesome. Kudos, man, and good luck with all that as well. And the acting as well. I mean, it's weird. It's like serendipity, man, because you got that connection with my partner with the nursing and the acting with me. It's like it was meant to be today, man. So it's been
Yes.
awesome chatting to you. Really good. And no, good luck with everything. I'm definitely making sure that Homeless Fawn's on my YouTube playlist with SuperKrazee. Like, regardless, subscription. I've already subscribed to your channel. I subscribed to the thing. I couldn't find one for SuperKrazee. Have they got their own channel?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll link
Okay.
you. I'll link
Yeah.
you.
All my matches I watched were from Vaughn's own channel, so I would definitely do the SuperKrazee one. And so for everyone else, they will be linked, I'm assuming. So yeah, but no, thank you for coming on and chatting with us, man. It's been
Like I
awesome.
said, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it.
This has
Can't
been.
wait.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I can't wait till this hits mainstream. I know it is.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
matter of time.
Oh yeah, bro. You're not only for
When
you.
it's
We
when y'all
got.
have when y'all get the first million subscribers, I'm gonna remember this day. I'm like,
Uh,
yep, I knew it.
yeah, it's we say the same thing about a lot of you guys. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. And like
Yeah.
here's it's really we don't care. And I'm not here. We're not here for the. We're here to promote independent wrestling. We're here to promote you guys because you guys are the guys that are getting out there, and the companies that you're attached to. SuperKrazee puts out the product that allows us to watch you. You're the one that's in there in the ring entertaining us. You know what I mean? Like without you guys and without the companies, we don't we don't have anything to watch. That's kind of where it's at. That's why again, that segue right here. I'll leave us with this piece of the conversation. We had a situation with TK Cooper had a situation over with Sunshine Machine with the work visa. It's public knowledge. There was a GoFundMe that was put out there. Well, it took that situation for me for shit to register for me. Like, wait, I'm doing this wrong. I need to. We can help him. Like our channel can help him. So we did like our monthly fundraiser. We donated it to TK for the month of February, January to February. Went to TK Cooper to his visa. We were able to help support him, and it got me to thinking like this is what we should be doing moving forward with what we make on our channel. It's not a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. We're definitely not moving on up. We're not there yet. We're but we make a couple $100, and we're donating that moving forward, either to someone who on the indie scene maybe you get hurt that need a little help, or to a company directly as a way to say thank you for putting out product for us to have stumbled across and watched. And SuperKrazee has been really good to us. So when we get to the month of March, so it'd be March to April, be that month of March to April. Our proceeds we're going to go to SuperKrazee. We're going to send it to you guys so we can just donate to whatever the company can use it for, whatever they want to use it for. If it's advertising, if it's lighting, if it's whatever. Just it ain't gonna be a lot of money by any means, but it's just our way to say thank you for putting out the product and for being really cool with us because there are companies who maybe sometimes don't have the best intentions, but we try to accommodate and talk to as many people as we can. So this will be our way
We
of saying thank you.
appreciate everything y'all doing.
Well,
We definitely appreciate it.
no,
Not even just the money part, just the promoting and giving everyone the spotlight to us. Like that's much appreciated.
Oh, it's just getting started. I did a spotlight on Tiberius Asante Thursday night. I've got some other things lined up for some other guys attached to Super Crazy. I'm gonna tell you, like I told him, I'm slowly rolling that because I want to be able to always circle back around every 4 to 6 weeks with something attached to SKPW on my channel, whether it's a spotlight, whether it's a full show watch, whether it's something, because I'm always able to keep you in my rotation of regular content. We have several feds that we've come across that we must see is on our must see list. Super Crazy is a part of that. They're on that must see list.
That
My opinion.
perfect.
Anybody else doesn't agree with it, they can fuck off. That's my opinion. Mr. Vaughn, what do you want to say to our peoples, to our audience? You got anything you want to say to them before we close it out?
Follow me on Instagram, Homeless Vaughn. I'll follow back.
Right there.
That
It's
yeah.
yep, right there, right underneath him. It's been there the whole screen.
I don't
Got
care about Facebook or X or Twitter, and just the Instagram.
get him on Instagram.
I got like 400 followers. I need to hit 1,000 at least.
Get it up.
We're gonna get those numbers up. So what you need to do, guys, head over to Homeless Vaughn's Instagram page at Homeless Vaughn. Not only do I want you to follow him, go to his latest post, tell him that CCP Podcasting sent you, so he can track who we send over and he can thank you and say thank you for being a friend. It is the easiest way to support independent wrestling is to like, share, follow, subscribe. Down below, you're going to find all links to everything Homeless Vaughn. If you want to go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button over there as well. Do you have any merchandise anywhere? Is that something Homeless Vaughn's looking into? Like, it might be something that might be a way to get him moving on up, but I'm not sure what that looks like for him.
Uh, just t-shirts just came in. Hopefully,
Yes.
everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Where can
And
we
then,
get
then
the t-shirts at?
I'll be
I like
selling
that.
them at the Super Crazy events.
Okay. Or do you do mail outs if anybody wanted to hit you up and say, hey, can I get a t-shirt? Are you doing mail outs or anything like that?
Maybe in the near future. I only got
Okay.
like 4 shirts.
Oh.
So,
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Exclusive for. But yeah, no, you have to keep people updated, especially me. I want one of those. I want one. You have to do international shipping, though.
yes.
Yeah, that's going all the way over to the UK. Anything else you got going on? Anything else you want to plug on the way out?
The time capsule movie and March 29th, Super Crazy. Uh, that's going to be a big match for me because someone who I work with is a nurse who also is a wrestler. His name is Wildflower, and I'll be wrestling him March 29th. 7 p.m., I believe, Saturday. 827 Jersey Ave, Gloucester, New Jersey. So, yep, that's the big one.
You
Other
guys are
than
going
that, that's it.
you guys are going to lose your shit when
Oh my
when
gosh.
one random Friday night you walk through the curtain and Chris Page is standing or sitting down watching you. Y'all are going to lose your mind. That's the next
Yes.
step, man. Is I'm about to start making some trips. I'm about to start following. I've already got an Australia trip planned for 2026 to go to Fringe Mania as a part of Riot City Wrestling. Doing something today in Atlanta. We're about to. Our platform is about to get really, really comfortable and really familiar with a lot of independent feds out there because
You got
without
to come
you
to a
guys,
progress.
it's happening.
Because you got to come to a progress show with me, man.
It's happening. Because without all of you guys, and this is real, without you guys getting in the ring and doing what you're doing, without the companies that you work for, getting into putting the product out there, we don't have anything to watch. Thank you, sir, for agreeing to come in and sit down with us, and I cannot wait to sit down and get Homeless Vaughn on a live show so we can have a lot of fun. And this is just the beginning. If there's anything that we can do for you, all you need to do is just reach out, man. Like, you got me. We're DMing. So if there's anything that we can do, anything that comes up that you need, maybe want promoted or something like that, just hit us up, man. We got you. We'll take care of you. Devlin,
Thanks.
what do you want to say to the people? And then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's already been covered. I won't take up too much time. Just make sure you follow Homeless Vaughn on Instagram. Make sure you follow SuperKrazee Pro Wrestling on all their socials. And you say, like, if it weren't for these guys and it weren't for the promotions, we wouldn't be here. Also, as always, like, subscribe, watch our stuff, join us again. Yeah, and thank you for coming along again, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you.
For Mr. Von Morgan, for Devil and Knight, I am Chris Page. We will see you next time.